the boss. No, baby. Hold up. I'm about to go to Yellow Lady. They your host, 12 to 2. If you need a getaway, come and see this view. Got a whole lot of drama, feeling like you want to stand by. Put your feet up and watch a Midday Mad House. Hey!
Here.
Yes, we are.
It is the Midday Mad House. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Welcome.
Yes, tune in. Come on.
Come on in the room and hang out with us.
Why not?
Yeah, it's not something to do.
Right. You got to always tune into the Midday Mad House.
Absolutely.
Because we are fly.
Absolutely. Every day of the week.
Well, so you know how it goes. Every day, all day. We're gonna toast.
Yes. Welcome to the Midday Mad House.
Hey, why you got so much fun? You want person in here? You got a lot. Okay. All right. See, we share.
Share.
Shout out to Aunt Loretta.
Yeah, shout out.
Yeah.
I miss her.
Aunt Loretta, we're gonna have to come see her.
Yeah, we have to just pop up on her.
Yes, the best godmom in the world. And I love her so much. But I wanted to do something for my best friend. If you want me, if you need me, come be my Mona Lisa. Let me make a masterpiece with you. No limit on my visa. Baby, every masterpiece to you. Girl, I have you looking like Easter. Diamonds red, yellow, white, and blue. I call you my mamacita. Cause you better call me Papi Chulo. You know I'm eight figure, tailor-made nigga. $250,000 dripping off my pinky ring finger. I'm a home knocker, big shit talker. I'm your favorite motherfucker when I ain't kidding. That's your favorite part.
That's my favorite part.
That's her shit.
Yeah.
She don't, you get hyped about that.
Yeah, because I ever say my fuck.
Yes.
Yes, I am.
Here goes a new one I want you to hear. This is Brian Toomey.
I'm blaming the internet. I'm blaming my jealous ex. I'm blaming your mom and your best friend for getting too invested in all of our business. I blame it on all of this. But baby, I is reason I'm no longer with you. It's got more to do with me and my bullshit. I need to get a clue, but
But shout out to Brian Toby.
Yeah,
You know, we had him on the show. If you guys look back, we had Brian Toby on the show with Yancy. Yes.
We had a good time.
Yes, we had a really good time. All we did was laugh. Like we didn't even get through what we were supposed to get through.
We didn't do half of what we were supposed to do.
Right, but we had a lot of fun. But they just put out everything, put it out that Ryan just got another award for writing everything for Usher. So shout out to Ryan
Toby for the Because listen, Usher got some hits.
Yes, and all the hits that he has
are from Brian Toby. So yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah, so you got to look it up because some of the songs, Hootie and the Blowfish, all type of things.
Yeah,
you guys, Welcome to Miami from Will Smith. He wrote all of that. Ryan is a big time writer. Yeah, so you got to give him his credit where credit is due. So shout out to you, Ryan.
Yep, shout out to you.
And shout out to Yancy. Like people don't understand who Yancy is strictly.
Yes.
Yancy is very big in the industry, just like Ryan. They've been in the industry for a long time. But Yancy does a lot of hits for big people too. So shout out to Yant. We're proud of you. We love you. And everybody. It's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of people from the county of Camden, Burlington County.
There's
Yes, it's a lot of talent out here.
Definitely a lot of talent. I'm going to say, I'm just going to throw it out here. Between Burlington County and Camden County, the amount of accolades that come from these two counties is huge.
It really is.
I mean, literally, we've got so much good talent.
We do.
And a lot of it goes unnoticed.
Right, because people don't pay attention.
Let's give a shout out to Adam Blackson.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Willenbro's yes, he is Willenbro's
Yes, he is.
And he is the musical director and arranger for most of the award shows now.
Right.
Like he did the Oscars, he's done the Grammys. Like he is the bomb, and he started in Willenbro High School.
Yes. Yes.
Like I'm just amazed, and we cover all genres when it comes to accolades. We've got sports.
Right.
We've got music. Right. We've got entertainment.
We got Sean.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. He's a football player.
Yeah. Jesus,
I can't think of his whole name, but I know.
But we've got a lot of. There's a lot of talented athletes. Singers, songwriters, AJ.
Yeah.
I mean, we can go all the way back to.
Shout out to Lamont Sanders.
Yes.
Lamont Sanders is doing big things too. He just won an award. Mm-hmm. Yes, he just got an award for. He's a gospel singer, so. Yes, they are. Lamont is doing big things too. So what's his name? Porter Rich.
Yes, Porter Rich.
Porter Rich is really big out here in Camden.
Camden loves him, and we love him here at the Midday Mad
House. Yes, we're gonna have to get him back on the show. We had him before, but we're gonna have to get him back.
Now to the afternoon. You came and hung out with us in the morning. We want you to come and hang out with us in the afternoon. It's a different vibe in here now.
Right. It's a whole nother vibe. You just don't understand. Mm-hmm. And we have a lot of fun here.
We do.
We have a lot of fun, including everybody. We want to say thank you to all of you guys.
Yes.
Because without you, Midday Mad House would not. Our numbers are amazing. And
it's all because of you.
Yes, and it's all because of you. And make sure y'all subscribe to
make sure you guys
YouTube.
Are subscribing to our YouTube pages so that way you can get notified every time we go live, anytime we have something that you will know about it.
Right.
We don't want you to be left out. Everybody wants to be included.
Right.
Okay, so we want to include you in all the great things we have going on.
Yeah, we have a lot going on. We have shout out to Meech.
Yes, shout out to Meech.
Shout out to Meech. He just did something with Big Daddy King. He was telling us about Big Daddy King. He's doing a lot. He's doing movies. If you start, you can't even name everything that he does.
There's so much that he does.
Yes, and he is here.
Yes, he is.
At Dare Academy.
Yep, Dare Academy. He's on campus. So yes,
right. He does all pre-records. He has a studio. It's a lot going on in here. So
there's music, there's movies.
Yeah, if you got talent, we have somebody that will take care of it, and then you can come right on over and sit down. Yesterday we met Pac-Man.
Yes,
we met Pac-Man
yesterday, and we wanted to have him on the couch.
Yes, he said he would love to come on the couch.
With us, so that's gonna be
a
nice
if you don't know about Pac-Man, you can look him up. He's on all platforms, and he has his own clothing line. The clothing line is hot.
It's hot.
We just thought he had a jacket on. It wasn't just a jacket. Yeah. Like this man really is doing things.
Yeah, and you know what? I feel like we need to do a collab. Like Man in the Midday Mad House need to do a collab or something.
Yes, because that's a dope situation. And shout out to our one and only, because if none of this that you guys are seeing would even go on if it wasn't for Mr. Anthony Ways.
Shout out to
We love you, Mr. Ways.
Yes, we do.
He does a lot, and we're here to make his dreams come true along with our own. So,
right. And his show will be starting soon.
And yes.
So make sure you stay tuned in and subscribe so you know when the Anthony Ways show comes on. Okay? Because we in here.
Because it's a lot going on. We also, throughout the day, you guys got you can subscribe to everything, and throughout the day we have the Wake Up Show with IMD
Monday through Friday,
9 to 11.
He's here from 9 to 11.
Yes,
and then it's us, the Midday Mad House from 12 to 2.
Yes,
and then after that on Tuesdays and Thursdays we have the Comfort Level podcast.
Yes. The Janny Smanny.
And we have I Shine More Radio on Wednesday.
And Janny Smanny do big things.
Yes, she does.
I Shine does big things.
Yes.
They're always somewhere in your community, somewhere near you.
Yeah,
these two women is always in it. They're always in the mix. So shout out to them.
Absolutely.
So we have Trendsetter
on Wednesdays, and then on Friday, we have the kennel that comes in.
The kennel, yes, and they're dope.
Yes, they are. There's a lot of doggish going on today. Be some barking, and some biting going on. It's a lot, but it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
JELLOLADY is crazy. They biting. They dogs. They biting.
Yeah. You never know. You might find a leg lifted somewhere. You never know what's going on.
Oh my God. And then
on Saturday we're empty.
Yes,
So if you are looking to do a podcast,
tell them.
Come on in. See if you like being in here and enjoying our family, and then you can come in. You got a slot on Saturday. We got open slots during the week, and then on Sunday we have the Dumbass Radio Show.
Oh my God! And is it dumb?
Yes, it is.
Is it dumb?
It's very dumb, but it's entertaining.
Yes, it is dope.
It is.
Yes, it's dope.
I like it a lot. And then we have 856 that comes in from 3 to 5.
You never know what you're going to get.
You never know what you're going to get.
Oh Lord.
So that is our lineup. We right here at WCMD.
Right.
And this is us.
Yes, and then we have different things going on.
Yeah,
you gotta look up. The kennel is
the kennel
about to have
events
something
coming on. They have their basketball tournament is coming up.
Yes, which he is doing Friday. They're doing a big thing.
Yeah, they're doing
I know he's charging $5, $5 to get in, and he's having it's a beat battle.
Yeah, the beat battle is coming. So yeah, that's the next thing.
And we're trying to figure out, the JELLOLADY and I are supposed to be hosting this basketball
game, and I want to say it's June 26th.
Yes, it is.
June 26th.
Look at you. Look at
the Jello. So, and that's going to be held in Atlantic City.
Right.
So that's going to be a big outside. We're going to be outside. WCMD and Midday Mad
House. Oh my God.
We're going to be outside on that day.
Big.
And
what's up, Brody? Hi, Colin. What's up? Oh, we got Texas in the building.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and we got Philly in the building. Like, come on in.
Yes, come on in the room.
And yes, and what we need you to do is while you guys are watching this, we need you to share it. Just that's what we're looking for. You got to share the show. Make sure you're supporting. Make sure you're subscribed to WCMD on YouTube. Make sure you go on our page. Make sure you're friends with us on the Midday Mad House and WCMD. We're here. We are outside. We everywhere. You never know where the JELLOLADY and I are going to be. So yes, you guys got to make sure that you tune in to everything that we're doing because, we support. What was that?
I don't know what that was. It was a blur in a white shirt.
Where?
Outside. I don't know. So
that just scared me.
Yeah, listen, I wasn't ready.
Because I just heard a voice.
I don't know who that was or what that was, but whoever it was, hey. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, okay.
You just scared me.
Yeah. So
yeah, and I gotta remember the name. Let me see. I gotta look on here and remember the name. Love you too. And shout out to cousin Brody. I need my brother because we're cousins, but when you're raised together and things like that, when you're raised together, you end up calling each other, brothers and sisters. Brody was having problems with his health yesterday. Oh. So shout out to Brody.
Yeah,
we love you. And whatever you need, we're always here.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah, so shout out to Brody and shout out to my sister, his wife, because she keeps in touch with everybody and make sure everybody knows what's going on. So that's how.
Shout out to you, wife. We love you.
Yes. So we just need you in Texas. We need you to share this shit.
Yeah,
share it. Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Because
you never know. You know how we do. You never know what we're going to get into.
Absolutely.
You don't know who we're going to talk about.
I like to do pop-ups, so you never know. If you got something going on, you might want to let us know, because I might decide to put it.
Oh, Lord. Shout out to Uncle O for opening up his new podcast. You can look him up on Facebook.
let me see. I think it's Uncle O. It's Tracy, and it's Uncle O. He just opened up his own podcast, and he's doing great too. You know, Uncle O is from Power 99, and he's doing big, 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 big things. So shout out to Uncle O. Shout out to Moshe Loren, which if it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't even be doing this. So shout out to everybody. It's just so great to see everybody, you know, doing great. Like shout out to my brother. You know, shout out to my brother Rob. You're doing big things. We love you.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we love you. Like he is the best. He's always supporting us. He always makes sure that he shares. He comments on good. That's how we know we're doing good when Robin come in and he starts commenting.
Yeah, when we talk about something, he comes in and throws a little comment in.
Right.
You know, we doing something special.
Right. So we want to just say thank you to everybody. Thank you to Kyle. You know, because my cousin Kyle inboxed me yesterday and was saying how proud he is of us. And he said the show was really good and it's interesting and he likes how you can learn something on our show.
Right.
So thank you so much.
You know,
I didn't get to tell the Jello lady, but he did say congratulations to us and he's very proud of us.
Thank you, Cousin Kyle. We are very appreciative. And you know what? I just want to say to everybody who tunes in and watches us faithfully and sporadically, and even the haters who just come in just because. You know, Mom, thank you for joining us.
You're the best. You're the best because the more hate they give, the more love we even receive. So it doesn't even matter.
I feel as though we must, if there's hate in the world,
we must
be doing something.
Yes.
Because you know that's just how that works. I've always felt that way. Like if you've taken time out of your day to think about me, I feel like I'm accomplished something.
Right.
I'm with it.
Also, if you want to join into the show, we're getting ready to start doing live shows on our Zooms.
Yes.
And so if you can't make it,
you want to be on the show,
right?
We will definitely accommodate that.
Yes.
So
that's going to be fun.
That's going to be a lot of fun. But what's really going to be fun is when we get outside.
Yes, because the weather is getting nice.
The weather is getting nice, and
look at us rubbing our hands.
I am like, my brain is just—it's been an overload mode the last couple of days. I've been constantly thinking about ways for us to get outside.
Yes.
And incorporate outside into our day-to-day show. So I feel as though we might need to do like a Midday Mad House road trip. Like I feel like there's going to be some stuff coming up on.
Okay, this is Ty. Brody Jones is getting better. He had a stroke. What?
Huh?
He had a stroke, but he is getting stronger, and he said he loves y'all. Thank you for your support. Too. We love you too. Wow. That just hurt my heart. Yeah. But guess what? God is good
all the time.
And we're gonna make sure everybody put their hands together in prayer and say a prayer for Brody like that. We don't need anything. Strokes are nothing to play with. I had 4 of them. So, and I had family, best friend, and Brody, listen. If I can do it, you can do it.
And we want to make sure that you do it.
You got to get stronger. You got to eat right. Because I mean, I'm saying it, but I don't. I try.
We are getting better.
Yes.
Look, I'm trying to be the voice of healthy food race.
Right. So, Ty, you need to go ahead and share this to everybody. We need worldwide. We need Philadelphia. We need Texas, everybody. Tell everybody.
North Carolina.
We need all y'all to share
this. Yes.
We need you to share it and make sure that we're going to make sure that we do our job. So we just want to make sure you guys do yours.
Right.
Now, meanwhile, back at the ranch.
We are back at the ranch.
We were talking about something yesterday that
we talked about a lot yesterday. We touched on a lot of topics. But the one main thing that we were really discussing is the gender role reversal, so to speak. You know, that was a thing that we spoke about yesterday.
Yes.
And it kind of sat with me.
Okay.
After we left yesterday, it kind of did.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm coming to realize that the role reversal that we are experiencing now in this generation of life is something that is like, it's almost like we created it unknowingly.
Right.
Because, okay, if you think about, if you go back in the day, the gender roles were pretty clear.
Yeah, you're right.
Men were providers, women were homemakers. It was a job that coexisted well together.
Right.
Because women stayed home, we did housework, we took care of the kids, we did the laundry, we made sure the bills were paid.
Right.
And that was something that was a help to our mates.
Right.
Like, husbands and fathers didn't have to think about what was going on in the home as much because they had to focus on going outside of the home to make money to provide for the home.
Right.
And, I realized that the amount of mental stress that a woman used to take off of a man gave him the ability to actually go out and successfully provide for his family.
Right.
And then I started to think about, where did it all go sideways?
So where do you think? Because you were in your brain. She was in her brain.
I was in my brain.
She was in her brain.
And honestly, I can say that the women's lib movement it was a good thing, but at the same time, it created a sense of imbalance. Because now it's, women equality, we're equal, we can do whatever. The same thing a man can do, I can do better. That was the thing that was women's lib was pushing. But in all of that terms, the role reversal wasn't reversed then.
Right.
We were both just fighting to be outside working.
Everybody want to be outside.
Everybody want to be outside working. Everybody want to go to the job. Everybody want to provide. And then it comes down to, now everybody's outside providing. Who's at home? Who's at home? Nobody.
So, okay, I see where you're going with this.
So nobody's at home.
Come on.
We're gonna bring it on home.
Come on.
So
I see where you're
nobody's at home. Nobody's providing the stability in the home.
Right.
So where are these children at now? They're ill prepared for what's to come, because nobody's at home teaching them cooking. Nobody's at home teaching them cleaning. Nobody's at home teaching them things that they're going to need to go outside with, because school's not teaching them. Before, when women were home, balancing the books, paying the bills, keeping the house clean, those were all teachable moments for the children at home.
Yeah, that's true.
So now there's no more teachable moments. Nobody is taking the initiative. Okay, like nobody's taking the initiative to really sit down and define
a
family. Like a family works together. It's a cohesive unit.
Okay, because I don't want to break you off. I mean, cut you off, but I'm following you. So, and I hope everybody else is following. If you have a comment, make sure you
drop it in the comments.
So, where you're going right now is basically, since the parents want to be outside, everybody's working, it's a little struggle. With that, the kids are raising themselves.
The kids are raising themselves. But there's no model to base that on. Like, there's no model for them to see to base it on.
Right.
Before, mom was in the house. Mom was cooking, mom was cleaning, mom was doing laundry. She making sure the bills get paid.
Right.
But the kids were home able to see all of this go on.
So
it's a teachable moment, even though we might not have been sitting down with them like, okay, well, this is how you balance a checkbook and this is how you do the laundry properly. But it was something they seen being done.
Right.
So now that nobody's seeing this, everybody's fending for themselves. Now we've got these kids out here fending for themselves. Nobody's paying them no attention. Now they out here doing adult things.
Right.
With no adult guidance or adult supervision. And now what are they doing? These are children now, having children, passing on child's knowledge of adult situations.
Right. And they're struggling. But the cycle never seemed to be cut off. Right.
Like, the cycle has been perpetually going south, and nobody has really picked up on it enough to where they're going to say, you know what, I'm going to put my foot down. I'm going to make sure that these kids are being raised, even though I'm outside the house.
Right.
Because even though it's a thing now, like to have both parents working, 2-income families are better than one, and all of that. I get it.
Right.
But at the same time, these 2-income homes, you got these two parents
You
that
still
are
got
bringing
kids
income.
there.
But who is bringing in the information
Right.
to the children?
Right.
Because what are you showing them? You're showing them that working is essential. Working is essential to pay bills. Working is essential to maintain the lifestyle that you've become accustomed to.
Right.
Like you've got these kids accustomed to $100 sneakers, $600 phones, and now you wondering why your kids out here with no job talking about I want, gimme.
Because they don't want to work for nothing.
They don't want to work for nothing. They don't have no.
And you know, sometimes you know what I think, and you know, I think we're all faulted for that when it comes to our children, because when you look at stuff, I think it's more of whenever, you know, when you told your parents, Mom, I want that jacket. Like back in the day, remember when we had the swishy jackets and they had every team on them and on the back? All right, so you have different things that you want. Your parents say, hold on, I'll get it for you, but you got to wait.
Right.
And by the time you wait and they get it for you, you got it.
Yeah, but it's out of style.
But it's out of style now. You know what I mean? Like
it
came out in freaking January, and now Mom and Dad then got you on Christmas.
Yeah, like
you know, but it was just the thought that counts. But you're still gonna rock it because you're happy that you even got it.
Right. But you know what else?
But for us, when we're raising our kids now, we make them. We give it to them. It's no wait. It's just like, all right, I'm not gonna pay my electric bill because my son wants $200 sneakers. Nah, what? That's what parents then got to the point of.
And you know what? And the reason it's like that is because it's more. It's no longer about
what's up,
character.
What's up?
What's
up, Terry? How y'all doing?
Now it's more about image.
Right.
You know, and that's a huge thing. You know, back in the day when we were growing up, it was about our character. That was the main thing. You know, our character and our reputation was the biggest.
It wasn't even your reputation. It was what your parents did. Right. You know, like, you know, you'd be like, my dad retired from the school district. Yeah. I was in school fighting and everything, but then when I thought about it and I had to get my act right.
Right.
I'm like, dang, I'm putting a bad reputation on my father. Like my mom.
I'm taking the reputation that they built.
Right.
And I'm destroying it by being disrespectful.
Right.
And I'm not only disrespectful to myself, I'm being disrespectful to my parents because they didn't raise me this way.
Right.
I know right from wrong.
You know what else I think that made that really messed up things? Diapers. I think because when we came up, diapers wasn't famous. It wasn't none of that.
Nobody knew who Child, Youth, and Family Services was.
Right. Nobody knew about that.
There was none of that.
Now, some people do need it.
Now, listen.
You know, some people do need it, but
there's a difference between.
It's crazy.
There's a difference between discipline
and
abuse.
Right.
There's a fine line. Now, my thing is, I don't feel as though the state can tell me you can't tell me what side of the line I'm on.
Right.
You know, and I've always had that be a real big thing for me. And one of my girlfriends said it to me back when we were in high school. She was having her first baby. And the topic came up about, you know, discipline of your child. And her thing was, and I think it was the best way to put it, and I understood it completely. She said, I carried him for 9 months. I went through 29 and a half hours of labor. Nobody is going to tell me how to discipline my child.
But the crazy part is, back in the day, there was no.
First of all,
you're going to get your AB, and the village is going to get you.
First of all, back in the day, there was a difference. It took the village to raise a child,
right?
And that's exactly what it was. It was the village.
Right.
It was your community members, your neighbors, the people that you trusted.
You ended up calling your neighbor auntie,
right? And like you could go outside. And your parents and your grandparents be like, okay, well, you can go because I know everybody on the block.
And somebody watching.
Somebody is watching.
And if you do something, they're gonna come snatch you up, might pop you a little bit, and take you home. And take you home. Not even send you home. They're gonna walk with you just so you
make sure you got home.
Make sure you got home and make sure they tell, and then you're gonna get your tail whooped again.
2 or 3 times, depending on.
But now people is like, don't put your hands on my kid. First of all, If your kid is standing at me, and this is the disrespect that it goes to where you say there's nobody in the household to take care of these kids, and they're just wilding out.
Right.
Right now, like, people are scared of their own kids. I'm not going to be scared of my child. There's no way.
You can forget it.
All 5 of them, I ain't having it. You ain't beating me up. You ain't none of that. And I ain't going to be walking around scared of you.
Right
but
now.
nobody is raising them. Right. So now it's a disrespect because you know why? Like you said, you have kids having kids, raising kids with a child's mentality. Then it comes to, oh, well, I don't care. So now that kid is not your child anymore. You're raising the child to be your friend. Right. You're raising a child like that is your your partner in crime. That's your ride or die.
We're not peers and we're not equals. And that's the thing that a lot of parents, especially younger parents, kind of get conflicted and confused with. You know, just because you and your child are, 15, 20 years apart, you guys are close in age, you feel like y'all are raising each other together,
right,
or whatever, there still has to be a boundary. There is still a line that you have to make finite to these children.
No matter how hard you work. Now, we're not saying anything wrong. We're not trying to go against anybody, but listen, even if you're in a single parent home, because nowadays, shout out to the dads.
Yeah, shout out to the single dads.
Because you have a lot of fathers, even with them not being single, you still have a lot of dads that's doing it. They're doing it. They're big time. But
active fathers,
you have to understand that you cannot raise your child and your child be your friend. You can be a friend to your child, but I'm not your friend. Like, I'm your friend, but I'm not your friend. There's a fine line between love and hate.
There is a very fine line between love and hate. And there's definitely an even finer line between friendship and respect.
Right.
Okay. So for me.
But we don't have a friendship.
Yeah, we don't.
We don't have a friendship. You're my child, but we're cordial.
Yeah, we can be cordial.
Right.
Like, and it, to me, it's a real big thing for me because there's a set boundary line for me.
Right.
That I don't cross.
Right.
And my kids will tell you, my friends, my family all tell you, she don't play that.
But you always been like that.
But I've always been like that with kids. And that's because I always had that line that I didn't cross with my own family.
Right.
Like my parents, my grandparents, they don't play that. They never did.
Right.
So there was a clear line between
no.
Yeah, like I can only go so far because if I go over this line,
it's over.
My face is on the floor.
Right.
Flat out, I'm picking it up with
like you find and then this is another thing that I don't like. I don't like, and I don't care how anybody feels because Chacha says whatever the hell she wants, and so does JELLOLADY. I don't like that. I don't like parents that raise their kids like they're their friends, and then once their kid disrespects me,
now you want to be an adult. You want to be the parent.
But your child disrespected me.
Right.
So now or your child is in school acting stupid.
Right.
Oh no, not mine. JELLOLADY, you crazy.
Listen.
My daughter, my sons, my kids would never. Why wouldn't they? I don't put nothing past my kids.
I don't put nothing past my kids.
And then you jump on a teacher, you're cussing the teacher out, you're doing all this stuff. But understand, you have 24 hours in a day, right?
And you can't be
Monday through Friday.
You can't be with them all times. Right.
So they get to see
who your child really is.
That teacher is more or less the parent. That's the village.
But you know what else though? And that's the one that's the thing that really kind of it bubbles under my skin really bad when parents be like, oh, not my kid.
Right.
My kid's not like that. My kid would never. First of all, you can't say that because your kid is your friend in the house. Y'all be acting like y'all friends in the house.
Huh.
You telling all your business to your kid like your kid is your best friend, like that's your confidant. Now your kid in his mind thinks he's grown.
Right.
So now they going outside acting like they grown. But then when a real adult, attempts to chastise and change the situation and let you know like this is not how you're supposed to behave, Now I'm getting adult back talk.
Right.
Like you're talking to me like you talking like.
Or now, it's kind of. First of all, I'm not scared of nobody's child. There's one person that I am very paranoid of, and that's the big guy upstairs. Now, the other people I'm scared of is another two. Davita and Wyatt.
Right.
Mom and dad.
Right.
I don't play any games with him. I just got in trouble today. So I didn't get yelled at, I got chastised. But that's my dad. Right. You know what I mean? But
and he has that right.
And he has that right to do it. I just got chastised by my mom. But
at the same time,
I'm not going to disrespect them.
At the same time, in that chastising, even though you're grown.
Girl, I was
exactly.
Daddy.
And you know
I'm sorry.
And you know what you wouldn't do? You wouldn't talk back. Like there's no back talking that. There's no trying to explain your position.
You know that song, I'm pulling up on you. Yeah. With some respect in my name. Right. That's when he gonna pull up in his two-seater.
Yeah. And
he gonna put some respect on me.
Name. Yeah, he gonna make you remember to put some respect on his name.
Like there's still at 43 and at 40.
Right.
I'm still scared of my parents.
Yeah, listen.
I don't care what it like you're supposed to be scared.
At the end of the day,
you're supposed to be scared of your parents.
You know, it's funny because when my kids were little, you know, I was stern but fair.
Right.
You know, but as they grew older, you know, things had to change because they were evolving and changing as people. They were growing up, find out who they were, coming into who they were as people.
Right.
So I had to be mindful of the grow up in them.
Right.
But also be respectful to myself to maintain that line of respect. Because, you know, for me, at 40 years old, I don't get yelled at. You know what I get?
What?
I get the look. And that's the end of the conversation.
The look.
Yeah, the look.
I don't like the look.
I don't like the look either. And guess who else don't like the look? My kids don't like the look. Because that's what I get. They get the face.
I just don't. Now it's just like, you know, you walk into the store, you go to pull up, you walk up to the store, you know, you got the kids looking all crazy, looking at you like you don't belong. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Or you got kids nowadays that's so disrespectful. So disrespectful. Where they'll call you a bitch. They will cuss you out like they never knew you and pull a gun on you.
Right.
And pull a gun on you. Like, you know, it's sad when you have adults like us.
Yeah.
You have adults and some adults are scared to even walk out the house or be on the block because these kids is all on the block and they shooting. Like, and because just look at the world.
Right.
Most of these kids are going to jail between the ages of 14 and 16. Some of these kids, most of them, 80% of children that are getting locked up is a fact. You can look it up. 80% of kids between 14 and 17 are getting incarcerated before they even turn 18. They're out here doing things, and no matter, and you know, some people say, hey, I raised my kid to be this way, and my kid would never, and da-da-da-da. But guess what? That child comes from a baby to an adult.
And see, you know,
and you never know what the hell. Once they walk out that door, you don't know. I don't care if you got a damn tracker on your kid. You ever got cell phone? It doesn't matter. You don't have a tracker on their mouths.
Right.
You don't have a tracker on their body because your son or daughter could be having a gun right in your bushes. As soon as they walk out, they're picking it up and they're out the door.
And you know what else?
Love.
Yeah. There's another thing that I've really become cognizant of when it comes to children. What they don't have is the discipline.
Right.
To give them the level.
Or some of them have the discipline because your kids are disciplined, my kids are disciplined, but guess what? When they walk out that door.
But the thing about it is the influences that come from outside.
But guess what? It's not always the influence, though. I don't think it's always the influence. I think that's what's in that child.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is when I say influence is like we raise them correctly. We give them all the information, all the discipline, all the respect. We put all of that in them. And then they go outside. And then they have friends. Like, you can't control people's friends.
Right.
You can't control your kids' friends. You can't control.
You don't even know who they know when they step out that door.
Right. And not only that, like, you gotta realize kids, regardless of how old they are,
right,
they're still like sponges growing up. You know,
shit, we sponges now. We in our 40s.
Exactly. But the things that they are exposed to now versus what we were exposed to, like we were disciplined and we had our rules and respect and our boundaries.
Right.
But we also had the friend down the block whose mom didn't give no F's and was out here wilding.
We was partying at our house.
So we partying and having a good time.
Right.
So the influence of the I don't care attitude might not have come from home, but it came from who we was outside with. And those influences are things that we as parents can't control for our children.
Right.
So you can't say, oh, my kid would never.
Right.
Because you don't know what other influences the child has picked up.
Right.
And let's be clear, genetics plays a huge role in who your children are and who they become.
Right.
So I always feel like you can't always blame a child for how they are, because a lot of it is genetic. It's a lot of things that they gonna have because that's who their parents are. That's who their family, dynamic is over the generations.
Right.
There are things that people get honestly. Children get a lot of, like, sometimes lying comes honestly to some kids. Deceit and stuff like that. The adverse effects. You've taught them completely different.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you got to still remember who you were as a child growing up. Because
Thank you.
Who you
Thank
were.
You.
Yes,
Thank you.
Who
Thank
you
you.
were.
Thank you.
That plays a
Let me give you a hug.
Yes.
We had a hug. We had a hug on that one. Yes. We have a comment.
Yeah, we do. Let's see. Corey says, my son is struggling to walk away from peer pressure, no matter how I raise him. In the moment, he is influenced.
Yes.
Yeah. Peer pressure is peer pressure.
Yeah, but you know what? Peer pressure is there. Because we all have done it. I know, boy, and have y'all listen, I did a lot. But and it was part of peer pressure, but then you gotta understand too that you have now, back in the day, we didn't have it was a such thing as bullies, but bullies wasn't around.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? Like come on, you gonna punk who?
Right.
You gonna walk over there and you better walk. Ain't nobody taking no lunch money.
Right.
Ain't nobody doing that. But these kids they have the bullies. They have these people. So now it's like when you have a really good child that's never been in trouble,
right,
that tries his best to get good grades or tries her best to get good grades, and people and you're giving always look nice,
right,
never a bum,
right,
always sharp, got a haircut or your hair or your little girl hair is done,
right.
There's going to be, it comes with the jealousy.
Yeah.
Now here comes the crew,
right.
Okay, pay attention, y'all. When you have a crew, they end up gliding to that crew. Right. They get with that crew. Now it's like that crew is on somebody's back, on his or her back. Like, don't be no punk.
Right.
Man, listen, go punch on that boy.
Right.
It don't matter. You gonna go hit him. So now it's like I got my mom and dad over here talking to me, saying, "Listen, don't do this. This isn't smart. Don't do that. You'll end up in jail. You'll end up doing this." But then you have the peer pressure that's in school.
Right.
So the peer pressure that's in school, and then he or she is dealing with everything on the outside of home of school.
Right.
Yeah, we can raise our kids, and they can be, we feel like they're the perfect thing. They're gonna be all right.
Yeah.
But bullying is real, ladies and gentlemen. And then I think that's where the influence, where you like, wait a minute, this ain't my kid. Now him or her is now they're out here fighting. Now you want to punch on somebody. Why is that child that is a good child with good grades, that's doing well, why is that child flipping to another person? Because he's been bullied. she's been bullied. So now they're trying to take up for themselves.
Not only is it bullying, it's the seeking of acceptance. Like, as parents, it is our job to let our children know.
Corey said, yes, my son has a DNA, my DNA for sure. The world is different now. Preach, Jello Lady.
Okay. So, only thing I can really say is, like, children, and the bullying plays a factor, but it's more about, in my mind, I think it's more about seeking the acceptance of the, like, and for me, I feel as though, like, it's okay for you to tell your kid that it's okay for you to be different. Right. It's okay to stand out. It's okay to have morals and values and stand up
that's
for
what you get at home.
And standing up for what you know is correct.
Right.
You know, at the same time, yeah, we're not out here saying let people punch on you and bully on you. But at the same time, you always have to be mindful, is it really worth getting in trouble for?
Yeah, for me it is. Because you're not going to be I'm sorry, you know how I am.
I mean, yeah.
For me,
I'm not talking about bullying. I'm talking about the bad behavior that they're trying to be accepted into the groups for. So
I think the bad behavior comes when you're being pressured to stuff. Like now you see really, really good kids.
Right.
Straight A's, doing what they got to do. Now the teacher is like, hold on. This child is with a different crowd. Now you can see, like you said, now you see the difference in that child. But guess what? The difference is coming from because in the school, something is going on. Somebody's doing something to this child. And now this child has gotten to the point where it's like, all right, either they want security.
Right.
Or attention. So now what are you doing? You're going to go to that crowd that you see that is going to accept you.
Right.
And that crowd is that rowdy. Mm-hmm. So when you get a straight A student and they with that rowdy crowd, they're gonna keep their grades for sure, because that's what a lot of smart kids, and they try and they know what to think, like you said, they know it.
Yeah.
But then it goes back to what you said again. It reverses. Yeah. Everything starts to reverse, ladies and gentlemen. You got to understand. Once that shit starts shifting in that child's head, right. Because we spend as much time as possible with these kids. But guess what? We're at work. We're doing things, just like the Jello lady said. Everybody's outside. Now you have, go back to her first conversation. You have the mom at home, father's at work. Now you have mom at work. And dad's at work, or dad's at home, but you have that where everybody's working.
Yeah.
Now the child is at home, but in school. Think about it. Your child goes to school. If they're in high school, what time? Like 7? Yeah, I don't know. Shit might change, for us.
7:45.
Yeah. So you got until 2:00.
Yeah.
That's 8 hours.
Right. That's 8 hours of influence.
So that's 8 hours of them doing a lot. Yeah. Monday through Friday.
Right.
You never know with that. Just think about what the Jello lady is saying. Everything that she is saying is correct. If you think about everything that's going on with your child, the disrespect, you're seeing a change in your child. First of all, we're all going to see changes.
Yes.
We're all going to see changes because they're going to grow up. But take it back to why me and the Jello lady was hugged. Don't forget what you used to do. Right. And that's how I look at life with my children. I'm like, I go through it sometimes with their asses. But it's like, damn.
And I have to remind you, remember who you were?
Yes, I always, and I tell everybody that, like, listen, don't act like you was picture perfect in school. Listen. Like, think about that. Don't think that this child is not going to say something or do something.
Yeah.
They're going to change. We all go through changes.
And we all go through things. And like for me, with my kids, I've always tried to keep them mindful of what could.
We got a comment from Corey.
Okay, so yeah, let me read this comment. So, system done let my son down with the tools they were promised to provide him, and that is absolutely true, Corey. The system is different. It is not providing what it is supposed to provide, and that's actually on all levels when it comes to the school system.
Right.
Because when we were in school, we had classes that prepared us for life after school.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we had home ec classes, so you know how to feed yourself, fix your clothes,
Right.
iron some clothes. Like we had technology classes, you can learn how to work with your hands and learn different things. These things are no longer available in schools. But you know what that was never in school that I feel should have always been in school?
What?
Accounting, money management. Like they don't.
Yeah, because I
like,
guess they look at math like that, but
well, no,
that ain't gonna help you.
Math, algebra 1 is not teaching you how to write no check.
Algebra 1 is not gonna. You're not even gonna use it.
No, yeah, if you're not a math teacher, if you're not an engineer or technology person,
and that, but that's another problem. Like when your child is, you know, like ADHD,
right,
ADD, different problems. You know, like all type of different problems that children go through. You know, some children are, and like Tourette's. You know, you have children out here that have special needs,
right?
And don't get it twisted. Like these kids ain't smart.
They're very
okay,
smart.
they very smart. It's
they just learn differently.
Yeah, if you got ADHD, I got a million people that I know that are adults,
right,
that got ADHD. You can look at it because sometimes me and the Jello lady gotta say to grown people, you got ADHD,
right.
And they be like, yeah, I used to have it. There's no such thing as used to. You still have it. Where you're hyper or you're calm, but you gotta watch out, ladies and gentlemen. With the if the school district is not, the school district don't care.
First of all,
and nowadays they don't, because
they didn't really care back then either.
But we had teachers that loved and cared. You know, like Miss Brown.
Yeah.
You know, like
Miss
Lacey. We had teachers that we could go to and have a conversation with. You go in the hallway. You had that one teacher. Hey, Miss Dean, what you doing?
Right.
But and then you had kids that had little problems that might have been in like a special ed class. Now this goes into having a special ed class. Maybe you're in special ed. Who cares? If you're in special ed, you wasn't special. Who gives a damn? They stuck my ass in special ed. I was mad. I was mad, but it was because of my behavior. Right. I was fighting every day. It wasn't about. It
wasn't about your mental capacity.
No, that shit. I was bad.
Right.
I was bad.
Right.
I was bad.
And,
point blank. Period.
Right.
But you had other people that were in there that really needed help.
Right.
But maybe they had the ADHD. Maybe they had Tourette's. And then you walk out of that class and it's like, you know, people got jokes because I know I was pissed. I called my mom and everything. Y'all got to get me the hell up out of here. This ain't it.
Yeah, this ain't it.
This ain't it. My life is not going to be in this class. But it made me think. I might have been in the class for like 3 weeks because when I tell you, I went off.
It was a protest.
I went off. You ain't putting me in a class with no windows. You ain't putting me in a hallway where it's just a little tiny room, look like a computer room. That's not what we're going to do. Y'all going to get me the hell up out of here.
Right.
Or I'm going to start punching on people like that. Yeah. That's just how I was when I was younger. I didn't care. So now you have kids that maybe your kid is in a special class and they need certain type of help. Like I said, everybody in a special ed class is not special.
Right.
They put people in there for behavior.
Yeah. Like and
like
that is a thing that I feel.
And then you get knocked out. I mean, then you get and then people make fun of you.
Yeah, like
oh, you in a class with no windows. We all did it. The little yellow bus. Get on your bus.
And the crazy thing about
it makes somebody snap.
The crazy thing about all of it is because you classify it as special needs, but nobody is taking the special needs seriously. Right. Like there are children that learn differently. Like if you have ADHD, dyslexia, things
but
like
ADHD is like it's
a hyperactivity disorder.
Yeah, so
it's not anything mentally wrong with you.
I think that me personally, with people with ADHD and stuff like that, I think that people need to slow down, go to somewhere like the all natural corner and get like tea. They have herbs for this stuff. Not feed your child medicine because they tried this. Now we're gonna just keep it all the way real. They tried this with somebody I know. It took him it focused him, but it took him out. Right. It took him out of a person that I thought he was.
Right.
So then you see your child like
not doing nothing, just sitting there.
But they're focused.
Yeah, they're
focused, and then when they're in school, when they're in school, the medicine is for them to focus,
right?
To slow them down, and then you let them go ahead and you give them this medicine. They're doing their work because now they're on medication. Now, when this medication wears off, they don't like the way it feels. I talked to somebody about a couple of children about this. They don't like the way it when they pop the pill, how it makes them feel. Right. Then when they stop, when the high is coming down, then it's like they can't eat. The side effects is eating, like and they have headaches and this and that. Go to somewhere, go to a herbal store and go get something. Right. But at the same time, you got to think, if you're feeding your child some medicine, right? Feeding the medicine, they're focused. Everybody focused. But if I'm in school and somebody says, oh, you're on a short bus, how many times are you going to freaking make fun of me about being on this short bus? I ain't never been on a short bus, just FYI. Right. But how many times can somebody make fun of you until you get to that point? Right. You know, and some of these kids is like that. Like you got me, you don't even got to be in a special class, in a special ed class. You can be in a regular class, and people, because you don't have, they ain't Jordans. Right. I don't got the right clothes on. That's why I love that they did.
Uniforms was the best thing.
I love the uniform thing, but then you got parents, schools like Mount Holly, like Florida, places like that. They don't. A lot of schools aren't making people. They're against the whole uniform thing. And then now you got to go school shopping, but you got Tony over here that gets all the latest Jordans, so now he's popular. Then you have these people over here that are studying, they got their little group. Then you have, groups. You have everybody. If you go to lunch, everybody has a clique.
There's a clique for everything.
Everybody. You got the girls that think they cute, and then when they grow up, they look a mess. They looking like refrigerators. Sorry, but that's true.
Then you got the loose booty girls.
You got all of these different people.
Like everybody has their own clique, and it's.
But now you got them people that are getting bullied. Right. You know what I mean? Like, think about just close your eyes and think about when we was all in school. I can remember a child sitting by himself while I'm in my group with like Corey and we ain't even like the Dorian. We ain't like none of them. No. You know what I mean? It was a clique of us. It was Sean. We called him Turtle. Right. It was JT, Alan Parker, Doug, it was a crowd of us. We were cheerleaders, they were the football players. Right. And I can blankly remember looking over sometimes and seeing maybe some little girl sitting there at lunch by herself, or maybe a boy sitting by himself. I remember, and there are the children that it's not that they're not accepted, but they're being bullied on the side. Right. You know what I mean? So now, guess what? Guess what the victim, because they're victims. Right. Guess what the victim does? Fight back. Mm-hmm. So now I'm going to punish my child for defending themselves, because now and then you got to, let's take it here. Now you got these little girls that think they can just run around and slap on boys. Honey. Okay. Ain't no girl slapping my son.
Okay, listen.
If you bold enough to slap him, you're bold enough to get slapped. But I tried my best to tell my son, don't put yourself in that position. But some of these little girls they think they can just do whatever.
Okay, this is something that I have to say. Now, for me, I'm a firm believer in boys are not supposed to hit girls. I'm a firm believer in that. I'm not condoning boys hitting on women, men hitting on women. Like, I'm not condoning that by no means.
Right.
However, okay, let's make this very, very clear. If you, as a female, as a little girl, as a woman, if you feel as though you want to hold back and put your hands on a grown man or somebody's son, you better expect to get hit back. Because if the bottom line is, I was told by my parents, if they put their hands on you, you put your hands on them back.
Right. But, you know, and you was always told, don't hit a girl.
Right. Boys are always told, don't hit girls. But you know what girls are never told? Don't put your hands on boys.
Right. That is a true statement.
So listen, I'm going to say this for everybody. Women, children, men, everybody. Watch your tone and keep your hands to yourself. Okay? Because if my daughter hits on your son, and then your son turns around and punches my daughter's face off, who am I mad at in this situation?
You can't be, because she put her hands on him.
No, who am I mad at in this situation?
Her.
My daughter. Absolutely.
Her.
Because you knew better.
Right.
And this is what all parents need to be teaching their kids. Keep your hands to yourself.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, my son is not a punching bag. You are not going to be running around just because you think you're a girl and you want to slap on my son and punch on my son. You're absolutely not. Because you and your mom is both going to catch these hands.
But then you know where it comes from?
The stuff they see at home.
So we got to get out of here. The stuff they see where?
At home. Because listen, I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of these young girls have mothers who be running around putting their hands on people, and they feel like it's okay. Sis, it's not. It's not. And your mom is not going to come to me and be like, oh, your son assaulted my daughter. No. Your daughter assaulted my son, and my son defended himself. And I will not chastise my son for defending himself.
Right.
At the end of the day, if you don't want to get punched on, keep your hands to yourself. Okay? That's how that works.
Well, on that note,
I think it's time for us to be on the
On that note, you make sure you join us tomorrow.
Yes.
And we will be talking about something different. But if you guys have something that you would like to talk about, come on. Join us. Even if you want to get on our Zoom, get in our DMs. Let us know.
Inbox, let us know what you want to do. We will accommodate. If you want to come in and pull up on us, we're here.
Right.
If you want to pop it on the Zoom because you at work, you want to sneak in and talk to us.
Because we be having y'all sneaker peekers.
Yeah, we like
y'all. We like y'all sneaker peekers. Like when you're at work and you're clicking.
Right.
We see y'all.
Yeah, we see you.
And we want to say thank you for all your support.
So, if all I'm going to say is if you would like to be invited into our show on the Zoom, please give us a day's notice so that way we can be set up for it. Because in this setup, we cannot Zoom call. But I can Zoom call from somewhere else.
Yes.
So let us know.
Because we have different ways. This ain't just it.
Yeah, this is not
we got all different type of situations.
In fact, I feel like we won't have. I feel like next week is going to be a situation.
Yeah, we can have a situation week.
I feel like next week won't be all kinds of different situations.
That is funny.
So I think it's time.
So it is time for us to go, and we love you guys.
Yes,
it is the Midday Mad House. You know we always tell the truth here. Yes. We always gonna tell the truth.
We always telling the truth and talking that shit at the same time.
Oh, don't you love it?
I love it.
I love it. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we really have to go. We have a lot to do. Make sure you tune in tomorrow at 12 o'clock. We'll be here. You never know who's going to be in the building. You
never know what you're going to get.
Never know. Never know who's going to be in the building.
The Midday Mad House is like a box of chocolate.
What?
You never know what you want to get.
Yes. We're just not running like Forrest Gump. You guys have
Run, Forrest,
right. You guys have a very blessed day, and we are signing off. And it is Cha Cha
and the Jello Lady.
And we love you guys. Have a blessed day.
Say the music is my secret weapon, ain't putting my business on the social shit. I keep them guessing. My brothers is talking like they scholars. I don't need the lessons, I know what I did. And I ain't afraid to admit it, no, it was dumb. I was stupid when I made them decisions, tried to get back, make it right, change the way I was living. But you said, fuck it, give it up. Too much space, now we destined. You know you dealing with pride. You know how you feeling inside. You know that we built something special, ain't no killing that vibe. Wish you was still by my side. Call me and still no ride. I heard that you said I was dead. Girl, look, I'm feeling alive. You say that you love me. Do you really be real about it? Almost a month without my love, how you still without it? The feelings ain't mutual. Look, I'm ready to kill without it, but now that I know it's over, look, I'm just gonna chill about it. You know how I feel. Who always say they rescue brothers, they called you their sister. I brought the gang to protect you, crazy. I'm calling you crazy, girl. You were saying when I met you, tell them the story, and they tell me it's a shame that she left you. You know our situation.
I'm
What you see is what you get up on the morning show. I got a whole lot of bars, but before I go, chop chop real smooth, she the boss. No baby, hold up, I'm about to go to Yellow Lady. They your host, 12 to 2. If you need a getaway, come and see this view. Got a whole lot of drama, feeling like you wanna stand by. Put your feet up and watch a midday.